Hi, hello, and welcome. I am definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me pug my way to 2.8k rating on a Retribution Paladin in Dragonflight Season 2. In this episode, I'm going to try and get as many dungeons done as I can to get as many dungeons cleared at 10, or I mean Keystone level 10, before the reset comes in. Ideally, we would have 8 clears on key level 10 so that I get 3 slots in my vault with key level 10 rewards, but we'll take what we can get depending on how much time we have to play. By the way, if you keep finding yourself coming back to the channel and watching the videos, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're feeling very generous with your time, do consider dropping a like and letting me know what you like about the videos in a comment. I would really appreciate that. Let's take a look at what we sold. We sold a friendship sensor. That's not bad. Ooh. Ooh. We making some gold. I did play a little bit without recording. Please don't be angry with me. What I went ahead and did was just a few world quests, literally just dragon riding world quests to get some gold. That's all I did. But speaking of making gold, we're going to repost these 379 greens that we have. The reason I have so many 379 greens actually is because I buy them when they're dirt cheap and then I repost them for the proper price, because people sometimes post them for the price of a 376 item. And when a buyer has been found for my auction of Skyless Chain, I literally just turned around, I just posted it and turned around to take a look. And there you go, that's 800 gold, just like that. I think I bought that thing for like 50 gold. So as you can see, it's a good flip. That's how I made most of my gold actually. Right, so we have a Halls of Infusion 10, but we've already cleared Halls of Infusion on an 8, so I'd like to do these other dungeons instead. So I'm going to try and find the group for one of these 4 dungeons that I've only cleared at +2 or haven't cleared this week, and try to get a clear for them on +10. Well, I've been trying for a little while here, and I got an invite to a +10 Vortex Pinnacle. We've already done Vortex Pinnacle, so that's not ideal, but it is a +10, so we'll be able to reroll our key and maybe get a dungeon that we haven't done yet. Kicking it off with a +10 Vortex Pinnacle. Here's my talents. You can check them in the description down below. I set up a little talent tree for tyrannical dungeons. I'm gonna bubble here so I don't have to move right away. Still have my stupid macro for the anvil. Need to replace that. Oh boy, we're going for a ride. I didn't manage to get out in time. I have a afflicted soul. We're gonna have to remove that. Hopefully somebody gets the other one. If not, we're gonna have to heal it with a word of glory. That's what we ended up having to do. Alright, we got spirits in the back. This time somebody did cleanse the other one. That's good, that's good. Give the other druid a blessing of freedom so he moves a bit faster. We're gonna stun this one. We're gonna look at this one and we'll kick his next cyclone if he does one. He doesn't seem to be doing one, so we're just gonna finish off the group. And at the gust soldier for rushing wind, we'll try to kick the other one or stun the other one before he does it. If he's not doing it, he didn't even manage to do it. And we'll cleanse this one. There we go. That was nerve-wracking. The healer was probably looking at me like, Paladin? Paladin? Where is the cleanse? Where is the cleanse? We got it. We got it. This group is worth dropping cooldowns on, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to kick that cyclone. I'm going to try and get out of that. Use divine protection there in case I get caught by that bubble or by the knockup. Group is absolutely melting these trash pulls. I'm going to put my focus on the star-marked enemy. And we're going to kick him when the cyclone comes. There we go. Going to stun the other one. We don't want people to get cycloned. I'm not going to use any of my minute-long cooldowns here. I'm just going to use the 30-second Wake of Ashes so that I can drop everything on top of the boss when he comes out. We did take care of one of the afflicted souls there in the background. We're going to try and take care of this one before he gets it off on us. He's going to get it off on us because the healer was slacking and we're bloodlusting and people are standing outside of the circle. That probably hurt. We're at 4 anvil stacks. We're keeping our anvil up quite nicely. I missed a kick there, but that's okay. We're going to kick this. We're going to cleanse that afflicted soul. I really don't want one of those to go off during the boss fight, so we're going to give lay on hands to that one in the background. I don't like having to use lay on hands on these because the healer's slacking on it. But hey, maybe the healer's new. It is a +10 after all. This could be the first time he's actually dealing with the affix. It looks like there's only one this time. No, there's 2. We're going to use a word of glory to clear that. Coming up on another set of cooldowns, we'll use that. We'll kick this. There's our cooldowns. We're going to drop all of them. Now here I'm a little annoyed because I can't use my fucking Hammer of Wrath because it uses the macro, but I want to keep the thingy thing. Okay. We're going to use Animal before we jump up this thing, right before we do it. The reason being, we want to refresh this buff as long as possible. I still haven't set up a damn WeakAuras for it, which is my mistake. But we want to use it there so that we doesn't expire before we reach these. Got a little tongue-tied there because I was just trying to explain everything and also do it at the same time. We have a blinding light here available for these cloudbursts. We're going to use it first. Somebody hopefully takes care of the rest of them. We'll kick one. I can still stun one, but after that I'm all out of juice. Okay, it looks like we didn't have to do anything else, so it's good. That one's right on top of the healer, so hopefully the healer... Okay, the healer noticed it. Good. Let's give the healer some movement speed. Okay, we're pulling the dragon along with 2 assassins. We're going to drop all our cooldowns. I'm going to purely single target the boss. Or not the boss, but the dragon. I don't care about the rest of it. We're going to use Shield of Vengeance here to absorb all of that dot damage. Damage over time damage. Rip in peace. There's one afflicted soul. I'm going to Word of Glory the other at crit, so we got it insta-healed. Yeah, it looks like I'm on afflicted duty this time around. We're going to give movement speed to the tank so he can get his Moonfire off. Tank's moving to the next group. That's good. That's good. That works. Going to interrupt that. We're going to look at the other one to interrupt the other Cyclone. We have Blinding Light soon. We're going to hit that. We're going to cleanse that. We're going to have to Flash of Light this other one. There we go. Turbulence Qualls got their casts off because I was too busy healing. Couldn't use my Blinding Light. Kick that so that it takes full damage. Okay, there's a lot of work for us in this dungeon because the healer's new. Okay, we had an overlap of kicks there. I can't even stun this. Okay, the healer did take care of this one this time. Luckily, none of this healer shenanigans stuff is really affecting the dungeon. Like, we'll be able to clear this without issue. I'm going to drop all my cooldowns here. We're going to remove one of these. Blinding Light here, because there were a bunch of cast bars on my screen, which I do not like seeing. We still have 5 stacks of the anvil, so we don't have to use it. I'm saving it to make sure that I can refresh it between pulls. The roughest one is after this boss, actually. Give movement speed to the healer, who's back there. Hopefully we pull it right away, because I really want my anvil stacks to stay up. There we go. We're pulling it right away. Cleanse one of the afflicted souls. Word of Glory on the other one. Try and stand in the right spot. Have another set of cooldowns coming up. Use Shield of Vengeance there before getting knocked up. That way I take less damage. The next one we're going to bubble, and then we're going to Shield of Vengeance again, and basically I'll not be taking any damage. Just focusing on staying upwind as much as possible. Here's the knock up. We're going to use our bubble for this one, like so. Not really enjoying this. Okay, and I need to take care of the afflicted souls. There we go, we took them out. I have a battle res. We're going to use it on the warrior. I don't have a lay on hands available, and this healer's struggling to stay alive. I don't know how or why. Using a Shield of Vengeance here. There's another afflicted soul. I need to get Holy Power to heal the other one. Using Divine Protection because my thing ran out. This is rough. We're going to heal the healer instead of doing damage. I'm not a big fan of that. Healing myself. Healer looks healthy. Okay, that's rough. Let's give the tank movement speed. Get him up here as quickly as possible. We're looking at the animal. I'm going to refresh my animal here, and hopefully the tank moves super quickly to the next mob. Okay, he gave movement speed and everything, so we can go. Yeah, okay. We'll keep our animal. Now, the rough one, again, is getting up those stairs with the animal debuff still up. We're going to kick the rally. I'm looking at the caster now to stun him. Yeah, he's dead, so I don't have to stun him. Giving the tank movement speed again. 22 seconds on the anvil recast, 5 seconds on the buff. It looks like we're going to lose all our stacks here, but that's unfortunate, but there's not much we can do about it. Yeah, this is basically the worst part for anvil gameplay is the fact that it will pretty much always reset here unless you start dragging the mobs up the stairs before they're all dead. We use all our cooldowns here, then we can recover on stars, kick the heal. Okay, we have a afflicted soul, take care of that. I really want to see how many times the healer dispelled at the end of the dungeon. I think he wants to skip. Can't. Percent. Yeah, he wanted to skip, but if you skip the dragon, you can't skip anything else in the dungeon, unfortunately. It's a little bit shitty design, but it's still worth skipping the dragon because the dragon is so much harder than these stars. It takes longer to kill him, and he does a lot more damage. Just going to do some off healing. We're going to have to wait for the healer. Give the healer movement speed. We can move in here. I'm going to put a focus on the star, and I'm going to target the... Actually, I'm going to put a focus on the Caliph, and I'm going to target the star. Drop all our cooldowns here. I'm going to stun the star. We're going to focus kick the rally, and the other guy I can't really do much about, but the other guy is going to go down, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so what I was trying to do there, what I was trying to pull off was just make sure that I can stun one and kick one by using my focus macro for whatever. I'm just going to let the healer handle that. Hopefully we don't get the afflicted thing. We don't. Good. Kicked one of the rallies. Can't do anything about the other one. I'm going to shield the vengeance here because we have stomps coming up, or a stomp coming up. May as well absorb some of that damage. We have 2 afflicted coming up. I have holy power, so we're going to cleanse, and we're going to heal one, and we're going to battle res the heal. I don't think I want to battle res the healer. I'm not going to battle res the healer. Yeah, we didn't need to battle res the healer. We can use the regular res after this. I'll start casting it. Yeah, he says not BR, so it's good. He agrees. He understands that it's not necessary. Regular res. Okay, and we do the bubble drop. Bubble drop. Oh, I'm so tempted every time I come here. I am so tempted to just pop all my cooldowns and just explode this group. They explode anyway, but I was like, my finger was hovering over my G key. I wanted to drop Final Reckoning on the group and just go to town. Doing some off healing. Tanks going in. We're going to go to town. We're going to drop all our cooldowns right away. Bloodlust. There we go. Bloodlust has been activated. We're going to use Anvil, which has in the meantime fallen off because I haven't been taking care of the stacks. Get one of the afflicted souls. Switch to the add. Static Clean. We jump. Healer, of course, has not jumped during static link, so we gave him a blessing of freedom to remove the movement speed debuff so that he can freely move. into the little box. Not a box Vlad, it's very clearly a pyramid. The afflicted, we take care of one. We're going to Word of Glory the other one. I just don't trust the healer to do anything about it because he's been very inconsistent about it. So luckily I can take care of it. Wait a second, then we drop all our cooldowns here right on top of the ad and the boss. Static Cling means we jump. Everyone seems to have jumped. I'm going to Shield of Vengeance so they can absorb all the damage from that Lightning Nova. Or not Lightning Nova, Chain Lightning. I'm going to cleave the ad because the boss is almost dead. Got the Cling. I managed to get affected by the Static Cling. I'm just going to give somebody Blessing of Freedom and we're good. Do I get any loot? I do not get any loot. Does anyone get any loot they'd be happy to trade me? Yay, we get the necklace. Thank you. Thank you for the run. I'm going to re-roll our key really quick and leave party. Okay, so we got an, god damn it, Neltharian's Lair. We have a +9 clear. That was, we really fought for that clear on +9. So we're going to try and join somebody else's +10 group again. Lots of the clients coming through, but I forgot that I wanted to check the number of the spells that the healer did. So he did 8, and I did 19, and I'm not sure how many, but I healed quite a few of them as well. And that made my DPS go down quite a bit. I'm not quite happy with my DPS that run. It could have been a lot higher. I just felt like I had to keep casting shit that wasn't damage abilities. But hey, if that's what it takes to clear the run, that's what it takes to clear the run. You gotta do what you gotta do. Nice, we got invited to a +9 Freehold. I'll take what I can get, even if it's a +9. We unfortunately won't be able to re-roll our key, but that's okay. We haven't done a Freehold yet at all, so this will be a nice chunk of rating, especially if we 3-star it, which I think we can. Oh yeah, we have a 445 tank. What the hell? That tank is about to crush everything in there. But hey, sometimes it works out. Sometimes you have a tank who's brand spanking new, like we did in that Neltharian's Lair run in the last episode. And sometimes you get a 445 tank that's just going to kill everything before you even get to it. Alright, the tank says, follow me. I'm not sure what he means by that. That's usually what you do in a dungeon. But he might have some crazy, wacky route for us, so let's see. Just quickly going to mark the tank. Maybe Anthony him, but a mark will do for now. Does look like a bit of a Steve, you know? It's going to pop absolutely everything on this first group. We'll have plenty of time to recover by the first boss. I'm very afraid to use my judgment here, so I'm not going to be doing that. Looking behind us to take care of that afflicted soul that's further away. I think if we line of sight the soul, that we should be fine and can't be affected by it. We're going to kick that heal. Yeah, I didn't get affected by a soul blowing up by line of sighting it, so it worked out. Well, it worked out for me. I don't care about the other guys. I'm not going to use my cooldowns here, just going to use my Wake of Ashes. I really hope I get new pants soon. I gotta get that foresaid bonus. I'll take shoulders as well. They're 7 out of 8. Adventurer, I'd take veteran shoulders and just turn them into tier. Take care of one of the souls. Take care of the other soul, because the first one that I tried to cleanse was cleansed already. Somebody beat me to it. Okay, for phase 2, we want to stand in such a way that there's no one near us. Because of the, well, if the Demon Hunter keeps doing that kind of crazy jittery movement, I'm going to have a hard time doing that. But the idea is to just make the cone that the boss does not actually affect anyone other than one person. So you keep trying to spread out for it. I'm trying my best, but fucking Havoc Demon Hunters need to move like crackheads in order to do their full DPS. So I understand. I only see one afflicted soul. I'm not even going to bother using my global on it. I'm not going to use my anvil here because I want to use the anvil to refresh my charges between pulls instead. Here we go. That's the first boss. Tank is body pulling, so I'm not going to hit this. I am going to... okay, we're in combat, so I don't have to use my anvil to refresh the stacks. Nobody's hitting it. That's good. Tank still has aggro, it looks like. Get that afflicted soul. We might be pulling a trapper here by accident. Yes, we are pulling the trapper. I'm going to give the healer... I gave someone Blessing of Freedom. We have traps coming in. I still have Blessing of Freedom. It just ran out. So I'm not going to step into any more traps. I'm going to turn off friendly health bars. Just accidentally used my... oh no. Okay, I managed to use my... I was stuck behind the stupid cart thing, so I couldn't run out of the damn oarsman thing. We're going to take care of that afflicted soul. The one that was back in the trees. I didn't know if the healer could see it or not. But yeah, I accidentally used my anvil because... oh shit. I accidentally used my anvil because I wanted to get another stack. It's rough here because there's not much time for you to... I'm gonna kick that. There's not much time for you to actually get another stack of anvil within the same fight because the trash doesn't last very long. It's just the bosses that take a long time. Another set of rat traps. I don't have freedom for it, so I'm not going to use it, obviously. What? What am I even saying? Another set of rat traps so I can't use freedom for it is what I meant. I'm not going to run into them. I think that's what I was trying to say, but who knows at this point. I'm going to use all my cooldowns. I'm going to focus one of these guys, and I'm going to target the other one. I'll stun this one, go back to the focus one. try and take care of these afflicted souls. I'm trying to heal it because the healer's not able to get to it. Okay, we managed to take care of it. We're gonna blinding light because there's some focuses being annoying. Spending a lot of time these dungeons just trying to clean up after the healers because the afflicted souls keep coming through. Afflicted and incorporeal are two of the most annoying fucking affixes ever made. For low keys. For high keys, it's easy because you know there's people who are gonna actually take care of it. But in low keys, you kind of like have to do it for the people that are kind of new at the game or whatever. Eudora jumped, so I have to move. Try and stand in this. I can actually do that as a paladin, which is nice. I'm saving my Blessing of Freedom to take care of the barrels. I'm going to give it to that person so that the barrel is removed. That's perfect. Focusing Eudora. Eudora is going to jump in 7 seconds. Standing in the blue swirly thingy thing because that gives me a buff. There's Eudora. We're going to take care of this afflicted soul using movement speed to get out of the frontal that Eudora does. The Demon Hunter went down. We're going to give the Demon Hunter a battle res. There we go, buddy. There's a barrel slam. We unfortunately can't stand in the blue circle because we would get barrel slammed. I think he accepted the res and then stood in the barrel slam and instantly died. So that's unfortunate. That was a bit of a waste of a battle res. Maybe I should have reconsidered that. Barrel on me. I can give myself freedom. Just move out of Eudora's bullshit. The blue circle keeps dropping on top of the barrel slam, so I can't do much about it. I'm gonna use Shield of Vengeance here because I was targeted by Eudora's single target attack. I have another set of cooldowns I'm going to drop right here. That's Eudora dead. We're going to start beating the shit out of Captain Raoul. We're at 5 anvil stacks, so we don't actually need to use any more anvils. We just need to use the anvil to keep stacks up between fights. So that's what we'll use it on. Now here is where it would be really, really useful if I had a WeakAuras for the anvil. Okay, so I think this is release. I'm saying release because he spawns there. This is where the tank wants us to go. We're going to refresh our anvil because we have 14 seconds. We had only 2 seconds left. This is what I want the WeakAuras for, just to show me what the timer is without me having to check the bar up here. And we're back in combat, so we're going to be able to keep the WeakAuras. Okay, we're going to use a bunch of cooldowns here. Make sure this group dies quick. There's a Blinding Rage coming out. We're going to use Blinding Light. We're going to kick one of those, take care of the Afflicted Soul, keep AoE DPSing. Group's low, so I don't feel like I need to commit my 1 minute cooldowns here. We're going to use that on the next group. Give the tank movement speed, keep him moving nice and quick. Trying to grab this extra crusher. I'm going to drop all our cooldowns here. I'm going to drop my focus on the Prime Scale, and we're going to use our focus kick to interrupt that while still targeting the crusher. I'm going to stun the Blind Rage guy so that we don't have to worry about him beating the shit out of our healer or whatever. I'm looking at that Afflicted Soul. Does it get cleansed? It gets cleansed. I don't have to use my own global cooldown to address that. Very nice. Okay, this is getting better. Slowly but surely we're getting better with it. Okay, we're pulling this side too. This is new to me. I haven't seen this kind of route before. It's probably a relatively normal, common route. I will take care of one of the Afflicted Souls. I'm being targeted by that, so I'm going to stun the guy that's targeting me. I don't want to use any cooldowns here because things are dying pretty quickly. But yeah, I failed my interrupt on the Frost Blast. I don't like that. Try and grab the piggy. Come here, piggy piggy. Okay, the DK managed to grab it. My dumb ass forgot about the goddamn anvil. Well, there's actually a really easy way to keep your anvil up. You take this training dummy and you taunt it. Even if there's enemies next to it, you can do that and not go into combat. I just completely forgot about the anvil, so we're just going to start using it while we wait for Ludwig to come in. That way we can try and build up our stacks. We're going to go for Ludwig along with the Crusher. Okay, well that's worth using my cooldowns on. So we're going to do that. Oof. I got knocked back by the Crusher into the crowd. The crowd will throw food at you. That's why I reflex used my Shield of Vengeance there immediately. Yeah, we're going to go back over to the training dummy and taunt it. That way we stay in combat, so you can see that the anvil is not resetting or anything. There we go. We taunt again. We're going to use it as well just to have the stacks come up sooner. See, it's timing out. Now I taunt the training dummy and it's cool. Obviously I'm not fighting anything here, so I'm wasting the activate damage from the anvil thing. But the activate damage is negligible. You really don't care about that. It is uncapped AoE. It will hit everything that's near you for the same amount. So if there's a bunch of enemies, it's kind of okay, but that's not what you use anvil for. I'm going to take care of the Afflicted Soul. I keep wasting my global because the healer's really, really good about it and he removes it immediately. I'm not sure actually if it's the healer or the Shadow Priest or who it is, but I'm just happy that someone's doing it. I'm going to tank this shark by using our bubble. There's 2 Afflicted Souls, one on top of the other. I waited for the actual thing to go through. Okay, now I need the shark to go on someone else. I could have tried to get it into the pool, but I didn't manage to. Used my Final Reckoning early there. I used it before my Avenging Wrath was available. Okay, that's the boss. We're gonna get another taunt off on that training dummy just to keep our animal stacks up. We're gonna be able to use the Elementium Pocket Animal before the stacks run out. That way we'll be able to keep all of our stacks. I'm gonna reactivate the Pocket Animal now. And the tank wants to do the jump skip here. We'll try that. Fuck. Okay, well, we pulled because we're doing the skip. I failed. That's on me. I'll use all my cooldowns and make it look like this wasn't a big deal. If we kill him quick, it's not a big time loss, right? Not that we're struggling to complete the time on this. That is completely on me. I just failed the jump over. Or maybe I did it just to keep my anvil stacks. We're gonna kick the Stormcaller. I'm gonna put that one on focus. We're gonna kick him so that he just keeps moving after the tank. There we go. And we're gonna target the other one. We're gonna stun that one when he does his cast eventually. The big nasty cast is what I'm looking for here. There's the Thundering. We're gonna use Blinding Light to interrupt that one, and this one's gonna be dead before we have to do anything else. We wasted our interrupt, so it doesn't matter. I guess these guys just died so fast that it doesn't even matter what I interrupt, but still, good practice. Give the tank movement speed. You can skip. We can't skip shit if I keep pulling them, but they get aggroed with the boss anyway. We don't have a way to really reset them. I can use my anvil because that way I'll be at 10 stacks. Stunning this because it's an AoE. I'm gonna clear that thing. I'm playing very poorly this. I feel like I'm playing very poorly this run. I don't know. Maybe it's just the commentary. I'm getting back to the whole getting used to a class and commentating at the same time thing. I had the same issue with my druid when I was just getting used to actually running dungeons on the druid. I wasn't able to commentate as much as I'd like, but I'll make it work. I'm waiting for the healer to cleanse one so I know which one I can cleanse so I don't have to spend 2 globals. Cooldowns are almost back up, so we're going to be able to nuke the shit out of one of them. Cooldowns are back up, so we're going to drop everything on top of his head. I'm even going to use the anvil just for a tiny little bit of damage more. We're looking for the other soul. There's no other soul, so I don't have to worry about that. So what I did with the cannon barrage, which I didn't say anything while I was doing it, but basically, I'm just going to stun this to make sure that we're safe. We're going to remove the afflicted soul. But yeah, what I was doing with the cannon barrage is you can listen for it. There's 3 shots, and then you have to move, and then there's 2 shots, and then you have to move again. That way you can take up the least amount of space with the cannon barrages. If it happens again, I'll show you. But I think he's going to die before he uses the cannon barrage again. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then we can move again. 1, 2. I had to keep moving because of these, but yeah, you get the idea. They're staggered in a weird way like that. We got a belt. It's actually a really nice belt. Haste versatility. It's champion tier. I have veteran tier. I'll take it. Thank you for the run. Gonna leave the group. That was a pretty good run. I mean, pretty good run. Obviously, it was a pretty good run. We were getting carried by a tank that's 400. What was it? 445 item level, something crazy. But yeah, you never know what you're gonna join. I had to use my Dalaran Hearthstone. The run was so quick that my regular Hearthstone was still on cooldown, and I still haven't joined a social guild to address that. Just gonna go to Orgrimmar, and then we're gonna go to Veldraken. Okay, well now we have 8 dungeons done this week. However, 2 of them are a 2 and a 5. I would love to get 2 more 10s done, because that way I have this at 431 item level, and I will get this up to 428 item level. And if I'm not mistaken, 428 is when you start getting hero tier gear, so that would be really juicy. We only managed to get a normal clear of Aberrus this week, and we had to work real fucking hard for that one too. Hell of a video, check it out if you haven't. But yeah, I still have some time left, so I'm going to try and do 2 more dungeons. We managed to get into a Underrot, I think. Yes, it's an Underrot. It is unfortunately also a +9, but hey, I'll take what I can get. So I did some upgrades after equipping the belt and the neck. I upgraded my headpiece to 4 out of 8, and I put some upgrades into the pocket anvil. That felt like the most damage I could get. I'm gonna quickly reapply my food buff, and then we'll say we're ready. It's gonna be a fun little Underrot. Alrighty, here we go with the Underrot +9. Quickly Anthony the tank. I am purely looking at the maggot. That's what I want to stun the second I see that rotting. There we go. We want to take care of that. We're going to look at the Blood Priest now. Kick that Gift of Gahun. There we go. We have Blinding Light for anything else that it might try to pull on us. Dark Reconstitution was Blinding Lighted. Blinding Lighted? That sounds like a weird sentence. Or weird phrase. Oh, this person has Elitist Helper, so we're going to immediately ignore that person. There we go. By default, anyone who uses that add-on, I assume you're an asshole. Like, if you use the add-on just to spam it at people who stand and stuff, you're an asshole. Here again, we're going to focus on the Blood Priest. What I really want is to interrupt the Gift of Gahun. There it is. We do have 2 priests that can dispel it, but I don't trust them to. I need to shield the Vengeance here because I'm being focused by the Dark Omen. I'm going to drop all our cooldowns here because this group kind of hurts. Dark Reconstitution, we're going to kick that so that we don't have a full health bar to deal with again. The Headhunter is not dying because the priests are not dispelling the Gift of Gahun off of it. Either they dispelled it or it timed out there, so it kicked the bucket. We don't have our full cooldowns available for the boss, but it doesn't really matter. This boss is a pushover, so it doesn't really matter. Somebody's being really good about dispelling the afflicted, so I don't have to do everything on my own here. 5 million health left on the boss, so we're definitely going to use a cooldown here, or set of cooldowns. Our dwarf got run over by the creeping rot. It crept up on him, I guess. He got battle res, it seems. Yeah, our battle res is on cooldown, so he definitely got battle res. We're looking at the Fetid Maggot because we want to make sure we interrupt with a stun. Once it starts casting its thing, there's the stun. We're good, we're safe here. Use my Shield of Vengeance because as these little guys blow up, they're going to do damage to the group. Never mind, I used it way too late. They were already dead. Is this another case of the tank being overgeared or something? No, nobody's overgeared. We've got a perfectly adequate group. I guess +9s are just that easy. I'm going to grab the one that's further in the back. There we go, perfect. Gonna tunnel on the Blood Swarmer. I failed my kick. Okay, that one got kicked. I'm gonna tunnel the other Blood Swarmer so I can stay close enough to this thing that I'm trying to interrupt. Interrupt's on cooldown. Oh, I'm panicking. We're just gonna drop everything. Fuck it. When panicking, just start pressing all the cooldown buttons and, you know, you usually get out of it. Paladin gameplay. I guess we pulled the boss? Shit, we don't have a Bloodlust, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't know how to grab this without pulling a bunch of stuff, so I guess I'll just... Okay, we're managing to get it. Trying to crush all these. I don't think this was intentional. I think the tank just messed up and pulled the boss by accident. Or somebody pulled the boss, so the tank was like, fuck it, I'll tank it. Okay, I'm gonna hard switch to the Fetid Maggot, because I want to make sure that he doesn't get any of his bullshit cones off. Stun that, make sure it doesn't kill anyone. Trying to crush the little... blood things on the floor, but I failed to. Trying to do too many things at the same time. I don't know how to deal with this. We're just gonna have to wait for the boss to come back, and there's gonna be a bunch of the little things on the ground. This is an interesting fucking run. Yeah, there's a charge coming in. There's gonna be a bunch of these little guys. We need to kill them ASAP. Like, we really need those to go down fast. We're gonna heal this one. And we're going to cleanse that one because the healer's probably busy keeping everyone alive. I'm going to bubble. I'm going to give this guy Blessing of Protection. Trying to just deal AoE damage here to take care of all the little blood ticks because they're putting a damage over time effect on the tank. A bleed. Tank went down. We don't have a battle res. I think that's a wipe. Yeah, we should have probably just reset. Should have probably just reset the boss. Tank is saying who pulled pack. I'm more interested in who pulled boss. Whoa. I don't think the issue was the pack that was pulled. I think the issue was the boss that was pulled, but to each their own. Oh, I have a friend on my back. Avagua is riding me. Wait, no, that sounds wrong. They're riding my mount? No, that sounds worse. I don't know how to make that sound not bad. We're going to put a focus on the Blood Swarmer so I can interrupt the cast that it does. I'm going to drop all my cooldowns. Quickly kick that. Okay, Avagua or one of the other people interrupted it. It looked like a priest interrupted it. I'm stunned for forever. I need a dispel for diseases for that. 23 fucking seconds. Are you kidding me? I don't even have a... Come on, we have 2 priests and a paladin and I'm not getting a disease dispel. Please. I'm gonna die to the rotting bile. No, to the ground effect. Okay, I finally got dispelled. Hey, people found the button. They opened the spell book. Took a few pages to find it. Oh, now we're pulling the boss again. We've got this whole thing going on. We're gonna kick that scream because that's a pain in the ass. We're gonna use Shield of Vengeance. That got healed to full. I use Shield of Vengeance because I'm being focused by the Blood Swarmer. I'm going to try and take care of as many of these blood things on the floor as possible. I have 2 Blood Swarmers on me. I'm going to use Blessing of Protection on myself. Not Blessing of Protection, sorry. Divine Protection. That'll reduce my damage taken. It's a flat damage reduction. Okay, people are stepping on those. That's good. I'm just going to stun this Living Rot because I have a stun available and it's the only mob that's alive. Make sure I don't get hit by that. That was insta-cleansed. Very good. Using Blessing of Freedom to just give myself some movement speed to clear that out. Why is this so hard? Trying to get as many of these crushed. Okay, looks like we crushed all of them. There's the charge. No, 1 tick that did go through. We're just trying to crush these. I had to scratch my leg in the middle of that. That didn't help me. There's another one left. Okay, tank managed to get it. Indigestion. I almost got hit by that. That would have been my fault. Okay, 4 seconds until I can drop all my cooldowns on top of its head again. It's going to do a charge, I think, before I can do that. There's the charge. And it's going to be followed by a tantrum right away. I will still drop my cooldowns and chase right after it because it's almost dead. So I'm just going to ignore the ticks for now to try and finish it off because it's 1 million health. Still going. I don't care if the ticks go up because the boss is dead and then it doesn't matter. Okay, 9 seconds on the anvil. We're going to get in combat before that. We're going to immediately reactivate the anvil just to get more stacks. I haven't been very good about my stacks. We're going to focus the Death Speaker in the sense of I'm going to focus him as a target. Then we're going to focus interrupt him and I can stun the Grotesque Horror right now. Okay, the other Paladin interrupted it so I didn't have to, but that would have worked regardless of their stun. We're going to grab the Afflicted Soul that's in the back. Okay, we're pulling to the next group it looks like. Yes, we're chaining. I'm gonna give the tank movement speed. Looking at the Fallen Death Speaker because he has something for me to interrupt. Gonna use our cooldowns here. They'll reset by the boss because we have to kill the Defilers as well. Kick that. Is it 2 of them or 1 of them? It looks like it's just 1 of them. No, it's 2 of them. We'll cleanse that real quick. There we go. There's the 2 Defilers. I'm gonna wait and see if there's... People have been interrupting, so I'm just going to let them keep interrupting. I'm not gonna interrupt any of the curses until I see that it's like the last second to do so. And I still do the thing where I fucking interrupt when I shouldn't. I have my cooldown up now. That's on me. I should have waited. Okay, the other priest managed to interrupt that. That's good. We have 3 stacks of the debuff when we're starting the boss. I'm not going to use my cooldowns until that curse goes away because it just reduces your damage done by 10% for each stack. I'm going to wait until after the first upheavals and then I'll use it. Okay, there's the one on me. We're going to try and... We're going to drop it over here because there's one person nearby over there that I don't want to overlap with. And now we're going to drop all our cooldowns. We're going to cleanse once. This really sucks to do that in the middle of my cooldowns. Another upheaval. I'm going to drop it here on top of these. That should be enough. I don't care if there's somebody standing there. They need to move the fuck out of that. I'm going to grab this and cleanse myself because it removes diseases. That's a lot of fucking... And we didn't die from that? Never mind, the priest did die. I'm going to bubble. I have a battle res available. We're going to res who was doing more damage. Priest hard. I'm just going to first drop this off. Okay, we already have a battle res up on him. Drop the upheaval over there. Why is this so hard? How did we not clear? I should have just bubble ran a bunch of those. That's my mistake. I'm rusty. I'm definitely rusty. Do not have bubble available. Shockwave is being completely wasted. We're going to drop all our cooldowns and hope that we survive this by killing the boss faster than it kills us. I'm going to dispel myself. There we go. I'm going to try and kill Avagua to keep them alive. That was just the tank being lazy. I don't like this tank. He's trying to rush through the dungeon for no reason. Like, you can just do it properly and it's going to be faster. Okay, we're going down this weird route. I usually never go down this side, which if it's not obvious, I don't even know how to get there. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone run this side. Kick Dark Echoes. Grab the other Afflicted Soul. Curses got kicked, so we don't really care. The goddamn anvil ran out because I was trying to get down here for too long. I got confused and turned around and lost and scared. It was a bad day. It was a bad day for Vlad. Are we really gonna pull all of that? What the fuck is this route? I'm looking for the curse interrupt. I'll stun the grotesque worm when I need to. I'll stun the worm. Still have my focus on that. We're gonna kick the fucking curse. I'm gonna use my mount to repair. I haven't repaired in a while. There we go. Little icon started showing up telling me that I need to repair my gear. Kick Dark Echoes. What are these pulls, man? What the heck? I mean, this works. It sort of makes sense, I guess. I don't know, these are fairly unconventional. Maybe I'm just too used to how I run my dungeons. Looking at the worm, gonna stun him or kick him when he does his Dark Echoes. He got interrupted by the bear, that's fine. I mean, okay. That felt like a weird and inefficient route. Maybe I'm wrong. Please do correct me in the comments, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone run left after the 3rd boss. That's just weird. I guess it's the same shit at the end of the day. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being confused because I just haven't seen it run before. Let's see which way he pukes first. He pukes right on top of me, so we're going to stand on this side. Hopefully the tank moves him. He's moving him good. I'm going to try and stand so that if he pukes on me, he pukes behind into the zones behind him. I don't understand this positioning. Okay, well, he's puking in that direction. Oh, God. Underrot is such a fucking shit show. Every time you pug Underrot, you lose 5 IQ. I swear. I can feel my brain smoothing out as I continue to play with this group. I'm trying my hardest to make sure that if he targets me with Vile Expulsion, that it actually goes in a good direction. We're going to try and stand on top of people here to give them the cleanse. I'm going to try and get back in here and just point the puke at somewhere that makes sense. Why is the tank standing in the middle of the room? What the fuck is going on? What is this? I genuinely don't understand what is going on. I'm still trying to bait into the zones. I guess I'm the only person doing it. I am beyond confused, and I'm so thankful that this dungeon is soon going to be over. I think that's the last Blood Visage. We're going to switch directly to it. I don't care what happens with the rest of it. I'm going to bubble. I'm just going to keep beating the shit out of the Blood Visage. Still bubbled, still killing this. Get me the hell out. Man, this was such a weird run. This was unnecessarily hard. Give me my fucking loot and get me out of here. Another belt. I don't care. We're just going to leave. I'm not going to say anything. Yes, it's a +3. Yes, I'm salty, but I don't... And the tank says nice one. I can't, man, I can't. Tank, I'm sorry, if you're watching this and you're like, dude, I was the tank. I thought I did okay. You did great. You survived. We killed the bosses. We did it on time. 3-starred it. Everything's fine. That is completely correct. I just get frustrated when people do things in a way that doesn't make sense to me and that I think is just inefficient or bad. That's a personal thing that I need to work on, so don't worry about it. This belt is actually not better than what I have right now because I would gain a bit of versatility, yes, but I would lose haste and gain mastery, and mastery is a shit stat for rich Retribution Paladin. Haste is much better, so I want to keep the haste versatility belt. I'm curious, who was doing all those dispels? There was somebody who was really on top of it. It was the Paladin. Okay. Well, good for them. They really fucking kicked ass. That healer was really good. I felt like I did okay DPS wise. I'm looking forward, hopefully next week there's not as a shitty affix like Incorporeal or something where I don't have to actually constantly spend globals on doing that shit instead of DPSing, because it feels really bad to have to do that. Okay, so now we just need to clear another 9, and then we'll have what we want, which is a hero tier item to be in the last slot. We don't need it to be 10, we just need it to be an 8 at least, and that'll let us get, like I said, a hero tier item in each of these slots, and that'll be great. Not even sure what I'm exactly hoping for, at least not from the dungeon slots. From the raid slots, I'd love to get Ass Candy, obviously, or a Beacon to the Beyond. Yeah, we have another bunch of Drake's Shadow Flame crests, 3 of them to be exact. So let's go spend those before we do our final dungeon. We'll spend another one on the Pocket Anvil, and now we only have 69 Flight Stones left, which I honestly don't even know what to spend on. Maybe the belt? Yeah, screw it, we'll spend it on the belt. Okay, we got into a +9 Neltharus. +9 is just my peak right now because that's just all I can get into. And also I just realized that I was probably in Crusader Aura for the last 2 dungeons. I put on Crusader Aura to get the Freehold faster, and I don't think I switched to Retribution before I was done with that. Not a huge fan of that, I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, let's get going. Alright, +9 Neltharus. Let's go. Give the tank movement speed. Tank's literally AFK. Okay, never mind. He's not. He's there. He's going. He's cooking. Oh, he's hopping over. He's going. He's still going. This ain't your grandma's cookbook. Thaumaturge coming into the fray. We're going to look at the Thaumaturge and make sure we kick that. We don't want it to turn the Ore Elementals into giant Molten Elementals. That'll hurt the group quite a bit. We do have stuns available. We're going to stun this one. We're going to try and get rid of that Afflicted. I managed to get it on time. One thing did go through, so we do have 1 Molten Elemental. Because we accidentally pulled another Thaumaturge, I'm going to kick the next one. See, this is the Molten Elemental. It's doing quite a bit of damage. I don't have anything to interrupt that. People need to use their interrupts, or we need to not pull. But we don't have any Molten Elementals, so I guess it's not important if we interrupt it or not. Okay, bumpy first pull, but it was to test the waters. Or the lava, I guess. There's a Thaumaturge. I'm going to completely accidentally pull that Molten Elemental over there. I don't know. How did that get pulled? That's so weird. Just making sure that the Thaumaturge doesn't get a single cast through while we have Ore Element. While we have Ore Element. What the fuck am I saying? While we have Ore Elementals in the group. That took 3 tries. Oh, god damn it. The tank movement speed. Let's go, warrior. Trying to get some anvil stacks here. Okay, that got interrupted by a knockback. Not sure who. Poor mage is probably salty right now because he dropped his blizzard and there was nothing in it. We're going to kick that real quick. There's an afflicted soul. We took care of it. Just going to quickly step up here so that we activate the RP, that the boss comes through as quickly as possible while we finish off this last straggler. There we go. Starting boss number 1. There's Time Warp. Dropping all our cooldowns on top of its head. We're just going to stand over here so that we don't use Lava Spray on anybody else that's in the group. We also used Shield of Vengeance to make sure that nothing happens to us. Trying to target that soul in the back. I'm unable to target it from this giant fucking piece of shit that's in my fucking hitbox. That's annoying as fuck. That is on me though. I should have been able to click the health bar of the afflicted soul. If I'm not mistaken, you can't make macros. If you can make a macro that just targets afflicted soul and casts your cleanse, that is too easy. There's the blazing charge across the room again. Use divine protection here. Morpheus is almost dead. We're going to give him a lay on hands. Make sure he doesn't kick the bucket. Morpheus is the name of our demon hunter, who is also very naked. He only has pants on. So clearly I have to make sure that he stays alive to join us in our naked quest. Another set of cooldowns for the boss. Get that afflicted soul. We're running through lava like a moron, but there's nothing else hitting us right now. Actually there is. We have a dot. We're going to use Shield of Vengeance just to keep us nice and healthy, or keep us alive while the healer gets us back to healthy. Okay, I gotta focus up and stop making jokes and shit. I'm making too many mistakes because I'm focusing on what I'm gonna say rather than what I'm gonna do in the dungeon. Oh, mage is giving us all slow fall. That actually slowed us down because the tank bounced off a wall and fell down into the pit like a couple of other people. Nobody was ready for it. I sure as fuck wasn't. I accidentally made good use of it by floating sideways. The evoker's suggesting that we collect and chain them. I can agree with that. As long as the evoker actually takes care of that, I'm going to have to heal it so that we don't get affected by the slow. That would really hamper our tank's survivability if he got that massive haste debuff. We're not doing it. We're going to kick this thing. We're not taking it to chains, so we're just going to drop all our cooldowns here. The tank doesn't seem to know how to use the chains, which is fine. It's a +9, so we can just melt the trash before anything really bad happens. Reapplying some anvil stacks here. I'm going to grab this afflicted soul that's behind us because it's more likely that the healer will miss that one rather than the one that's right next to him. Kick this again. Tank is now starting to collect a big group, I think. No, he's just kind of, you know, pulling random shit. Okay, the tank doesn't seem to really know which way to go. Either that or he really doesn't give a shit. He's like watching Netflix on another screen. I don't know what this baby little pull is, but we'll take it. Doing some microwaving again. Ooh, gonna try and get that Afflicted Soul. We got it. Nice. I think the only hard thing about these dungeons at +9 is making sure that the Afflicted Soul gets dispelled, literally. And even if you fuck it up like I did, you can still just get through easy. People are trying to use chains like this Evoker. Yeah, there we go. That's good. It's good use of chains. I'm not going to use it. Hopefully we can use it more on the next group. Grab that one at the entrance. Okay, Tank's taking them to the chain, I think. No, he is or he isn't. I'm just going to use a chain and hope for the best. Give myself movement speed. There we go, we managed to get it on these guys. Yeah, Tank just isn't aware of the chains, which is fine. You don't need to know about chains to clear +9 content. In my humble opinion, Afflicted need to spawn less frequently. That's really fucking annoying to deal with. Alright, we have a full set of cooldowns to use on this boss. We're just gonna go ahead and do that. Targeted by Grounding Spear, gonna give myself movement speed. I don't want to use all of these at the same time. 2 of them were used at the same time. I'm gonna wait for the debuff to expire, then I'm going to use mine to stun him. The tank is leading him away from me for some reason, which is very interesting, but that's okay. We've been through worse. Alright, we have another set of cooldowns coming up here in a second. We're going to drop them right now. Feels like every time I have cooldowns available, I'm just stuck using my cleanse. I'm just gonna use this and stun him right away. Like I'm gonna run over him and stun him right away. I don't really care if we have too many stacks of the buff. Here's Shield of Vengeance, gonna try and keep the mage up. Dropping some heals on the mage, just trying to help out with the healing. I'm going to taunt the fucking boss. Okay, I taunted the boss because I wanted him to move over into the fucking chain, which the tank doesn't know how to do, and the other DPS was neglecting to do as well. I have aggro right now. I'm going to bubble to try and survive. 1.7 million health with a tank that still doesn't know how to use his keyboard. I'm not sure if it's plugged in or not. It doesn't seem like it is. I should battle res this demon hunter because at least he does a bit of damage if nothing else. Oh, I'm getting salty. I'm getting pretty salty, but we'll get through it. Okay, purge the salt from my being. I cannot be this salty and do dungeons. Not good for my health. It's probably not even fun to watch, honestly. So I'm just gonna calm the fuck down. Calmate, por favor. And just keep on keeping on. Just keep kicking ass. We're doing fine. We have plenty of time to do the dungeon. It's a +9. It doesn't matter if the tank is lost in the sauce or not. This is fine. We're going to be able to use the chains here. That's going to make this pull nice and easy. Okay, the chains just disappeared? Or did they trigger? I have no idea. Did they trigger? I don't know. That's weird. What the fuck? At any rate, the mobs are almost dead, so it doesn't really matter. $5 says tank's about to pull the trash. Right here, this guy that's sleeping. Watch him charge. Watch him charge. Fuck. I owe $5 to nobody, really, because I don't know who I was talking to, but I was fairly certain that Kalashi Hunter was about to have a rude awakening. But I was wrong. Cleanse this one. Looking at the Iron Torch, tank is still pulling. We're going to kick that. Somebody else seems to have kicked it or CC'd it, I'm not sure. I'm dropping all my cooldowns here because this is one heck of a pull. There's a lot of these melt guys going through. I'm going to stun one of them because that's a lot of damage each time they cast a melt. I'm looking at the Bone Splitters. I'm going to try and interrupt their bleed thing that they do on the target. There's the Dragon Bone thing. We're going to use our Blinding Light to interrupt that. There's Afflicted Soul. One was only there, so I don't have to actually deal with that. I can just DPS. That's good. At least the healer is taking care of one of the afflicted every time, and I don't have to do both. There was a dungeon where I had to do both. I can't even remember what dungeon that was now. Okay, healer decided to pull some lava flares because, you know, keep it spicy. Trying to interrupt one of these. There we go. I interrupted one of these. Conflagration is going through. We have 2 Afflicted Souls. I have to take care of one. We have another set of cooldowns available, luckily, so we're going to drop that on top of their heads. I'm going to Shield of Vengeance here so I can stay on top of them. Been very bad about using my anvil. I really need that WeakAuras, and I keep forgetting to make it. Tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD. Forget everything within 12 seconds of saying it. I'm going to focus this Iron Torch and target the other one. The other one that I targeted was actually casting. We'll take care of the Afflicted Soul. There we go. I guess we're pulling more. I'm going to go switch over to this guy. I managed to interrupt the bleed that he does because that thing does a lot of damage. We're still trying to melt this group. Now, this guy's RP walking at us. Look at him. I'm going to Blinding Light here because I see cast bars that I can't do anything about. There's one Afflicted Soul, but it's in the back. There was another one that was in front of us, and the healer did take care of that one. I took care of the other one because I'm not sure if we were line of sighting it or not. The mage is asking if we want a Bloodlust last boss. I feel like that's a good idea. Tank says it's up to the mage, so we'll see what happens. Trying to stack up the anvil. I'm at 3 stacks even though I've been in combat for a very long time, so that just goes to show that I'm not using it correctly. I need to make a WeakAuras to help me with that. Need some kind of reminder. And drop all my cooldowns here. Hopefully we don't pull the extra trash over there. there. Blazing Aegis, gonna stand over here, can just run straight at him. Take care of the other Afflicted Soul. There we go. Torch Storm coming in, so we have to look out for the swirlies. Just gonna move a little bit by little bit. Tank's taking him there, but he's gonna jump back here. We're gonna stay on him. And Shield of Vengeance here, so I don't take damage from this dot. I don't feel bad using Anvil there because there's still 6 million health left. I have another set of cooldowns coming here in a second. Did his little jump. We're going to use Divine Protection to reduce some of this incoming AoE damage. Got the Blazing Aegis on me again. Just trying to position in such a way that the swirlies don't go and hit someone that's trying to fight the boss, because they go from depending on where you're facing. 22 seconds on the Anvil. Boss is going to be dead soon. I'll be able to use the Anvil to refresh my stacks while we're moving between groups. We do have the Lava Bearers left before we jump down, so we should be fine. There we go. I'm going to just give the mage a little heal. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do a little trick. There's a critter there that I targeted, and I'm going to go ahead and taunt it now. That'll actually put me into combat without killing it, so I can actually keep taunting it and stay in combat and keep my Anvil stacks. There's the lava slime. I can just taunt it again. Just stay in combat the whole time. I don't have to worry about losing my stacks here. I do have my anvil ready to reapply the buff. I'm just going to keep it in case I don't keep the 5 stacks all the way up to the last boss. The buff is running out, so we're going to taunt this lava slime. We're good. Then we're going to enter combat with the lava bearers, and then we have plenty of time until we get to the next group to use everything. I'm not going to use all my cooldowns here. I'm just going to use Wake of Ashes to make sure that we do some extra damage, but I don't want to use all my cooldowns here. I'm going to use Word of Glory to heal that thing because I really don't want it to go through. The healer kind of ignored it. It's okay, I got your back, buddy. Don't worry about it. Okay, we got the Afflicted Souls up here, but I don't really care about them. We're going to try and not take as much fall damage. I'm going to taunt one of the little spiders so we don't have to reactivate our anvil, and we'll use our anvil once we get down there to use it for the damage. We're going to focus the Blazewing in the sense of we're going to beat the shit out of it first and use all our cooldowns here. We should be able to use our cooldowns 2 more times before the boss, or once more before the boss. So now and 1 more time and then on the boss, depending on how the tank pulls though. Okay, very nice. This is the last person. It's the healer, so we're going to give him some movement speed. Probably should have given it to the mage. Both the healer and the demon hunter have ways to increase their mobility. Yeah, we'll be using our cooldowns on the next group. I'm saving my interrupt. I'm not going to kick that lava bolt. I want to save it for the molten army that's inevitably going to start getting casted after he uses the molten barrier. We're melting the molten barrier so we can kick the molten army, so we don't have a molten fuck ton of ads. Molten lava, molten bolt, molten. There we go. Take care of the afflicted back there. Very nice. Okay, I will use my cooldowns on this group actually because I don't mind having no cooldowns available at the beginning of the boss fight. I'd prefer to use my cooldowns when the boss gets stunned, because if I use them when the boss gets stunned, I do extra damage with them, so that's very nice. There's a molten barrier. We're going to switch over to the molten barrier mob to try and melt that barrier down as quickly as possible so we can kick that. Then we don't have as many ads. Only 2 ads came out. That's pretty good, all things considered. There's only 1 afflicted soul. I'm going to leave that to the healer. Okay, and now we're ready for the last boss. We actually have 20 seconds or so until we do the thing. We have percent tank, just go to the boss. He was moving over to those enemies. I wasn't sure if he was going to pull those or not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, we have time warp going right off the bat. I'm not going to use any of my cooldowns. I'm going to wait until the boss is stunned. We're going to use our Wake of Ashes because that should be back up by the time the boss is stunned, but even if it isn't, it's not a big deal. Take care of this afflicted. Right here, we're going to grab one of the treasures so we can use that to stun the boss once the shield is up. Again, holding all my cooldowns. We're going to stun this ad. We're actually going to switch to the ad. Never mind, that thing got melted. I think the demon hunter put a lot of damage into it. The barrier's coming up. We have a very safe treasure. We're going to use the treasure right now, and that way it hits it as soon as possible. Okay, we can grab another treasure. Morpheus went down, but we have another treasure. We can use it. We're going to battle res Morpheus, and now we're going to use all our cooldowns. Morpheus almost went down. We're going to give him lay on hands. Trying to use all our cooldowns during the stun. There we go. We managed to get most of them out to get the most out of them. We had to use 2 treasures on the boss because I think Morpheus went down before he managed to use his. That's okay. It happens. That's a lot of damage on the boss right now. It's afflicted. I'll grab this one that's next to me. We have the burning bullshit over here. We're gonna stun it. Okay, people have taken care of it. Molten shield's coming back up. I'm gonna go and grab a treasure. Magma shield, whatever the heck. Okay, we have the safe one again. Just gonna move away because I can do it from range. There's another treasure here. My buddy picked it up. Is he gonna use it? Is he using it? He's gonna use it. I'm gonna use Shield of Vengeance. I'm gonna try and off heal. There's no point in dealing damage to this. Okay, she's stunned. I'm just gonna focus on damaging her now. I have another set of cooldowns, so I can actually just melt her down. Fuck you. Okay, get me out of this dungeon. I really didn't enjoy myself this run. I don't know. I think the second boss is what pissed me off because the whole running away from me while I'm trying to stun the boss thing. That I don't understand what the thought process was there. I think they're just inexperienced with the dungeon, which is fair. Damage looking decent. Had some good DPS on the bosses. I'm okay with that.
with these big old spikes on the bosses. The spell wise, I think it was just me and the healer. Let me just find it real quick. There we go. The spells. We did have one from the. Oh, never mind. I thought the mage might have decursed, but they didn't decurse. They just stole a granite shell from an ore elemental once, which is at the beginning of the dungeon. That's fair though. Maybe they didn't have decurse talented, which is I just don't expect anyone to have anything talented for an affix before I start running like 18 keys. And with that, we have 3 slots that are going to give us hero tier gear. I'm quite happy with that. I wasn't able to push it any higher than that, unfortunately, but you do what you can with what you have. The only dungeon I didn't manage to complete was Brackenhide this week, which it doesn't really matter if I get it completed this week. It's a nice to have, not a must have. I'd love to have it just for the rating because that makes it easier to get invited in the next week. But now it's almost midnight and it's reset day, so I just gotta go. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, let me know by leaving a like or commenting what you enjoyed about it. Would really appreciate you letting me know what you like about the videos, because that way I can put more of that in the videos. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.